بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Even the Quraysh paid attention to the water of Zamzam. And Sayyidina Abu Dharr al-Ghifari radiyallahu anhu, when he became a Muslim, he arrived in Mecca. And he stayed in Mecca for a whole month before approaching the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And it was in those early days when nobody could embrace Islam openly. So when he approached Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked him, "Where have you come from?" He explained, "I come from such and such a tribe." "How long have you been here in Mecca?" He said, 30 days, 1 month. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Who has fed you?" He said, "No one." He said, "How have you survived?" He said, "For 30 days I have drank from the water of Zamzam, and I have never felt hunger." Authentic hadith, Sayyidina Abu Dharr radiyallahu anhu. And that tradition has continued till today. There are countless examples of ulama. And not just ulama, pious individuals, even now. Even now, you will hear of people who do i'tikaf in Mecca. And for 10 days, 20 days, 30 days of Ramadan, they don't even have dates. They survive just in the water of Zamzam. Therein, فيه طعام الطعم وشفاء السقم. Therein is a cure for diseases. And therein is nourishment of food. And why not? Do you know, who wouldn't want to drink from the su'r, the leftover of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam? Zamzam contains the su'r of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Abdullah ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhu himself relates, you know this incident where he came and he, remember the hadith are often abridged in various areas. This hadith is also abridged. Some of the narrations of this hadith say that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam came, and on more than one occasion he said to them, "Give me the water," i.e. in a pail, in a bucket. So they drew out the water of Zamzam in a bucket. Prophet ﷺ drank it and spat it back out. And then he instructed them. It wasn't a casual thing. He drank it and he washed his mouth and he spat it back out. And then he said, "Pour this into the well." So they poured it into the well. Now, someone may say, well, that was just a casual act. SubhanAllah. Imam Muslim rahmatullahi relates a very beautiful story related to this. It's different, but it's Imam Muslim rahmatullahi relates in his Sahih. Remember a couple of weeks ago I told you about Abu Musa al-Ash'ari radiyallahu anhu. Sayyidina Ali came from Yemen. Abu Musa al-Ash'ari radiyallahu anhu came from Yemen. Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he went straight to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam who was camped. And the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam asked him, "Bima ahlalt?" What ihram have you entered into? So Abu Musa al-Ash'ari radiyallahu anhu, after joining the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he clung on to him. He relates that one day we were in Ji'rana. Now there's possibility, this may be after the conquest of Mecca, and it's possibility this may be in the 10th year of Hijrah, in the farewell pilgrimage. In any case, Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, it actually was in the conquest of Mecca. Yeah, it was after the conquest of Mecca, when the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam was camped at Ji'rana, where he did Umrah from. So Abu Musa al-Ash'ari radiyallahu anhu says, we were camped with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam in Ji'rana, and I and Bilal radiyallahu anhu, the two of us were with the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Bedouin came. Now the Bedouin were unrefined, and they would address Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in that manner also. So a Bedouin came and he said to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "O Muhammad, fulfill your promise that you made to me." So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Abshir." The Arabs have always had this phrase. It means receive the glad tidings. Receive the glad tidings. What it means is like if one person says to another, "Will you do this thing for me?" So in English we say, consider it done. I will make sure I do it. Consider it done. The Arabs have a phrase, abshir, receive the glad tidings, i.e. of its completion. So someone says, will you do this for me? Abshir, receive the glad tidings. So this Bedouin came, this is a hadith of Sahih Muslim. The Bedouin came to him and he said, fulfill that promise that you made to me. So the Prophet ﷺ said, abshir. So the Bedouin, being a Bedouin, he said, لَقَدْ أَكْثَرْتَ عَلَيَّ مِنْ أَبْشِرٍ. You've given me enough of your abshir, abshir. I've had enough of your abshir. So the Prophet ﷺ angrily turned around to Abu Musa al-Ash'ari and Sayyidina Bilal radiyallahu anhuma. And he said to them, he has rejected my bushra. He has rejected my glad tidings. So the two of you accept my glad tidings. And what was a glad tiding? He said to Abu Musa al-Ash'ari, go and fetch a pot with water. So they went and fetched a pot of water. Prophet ﷺ took it, gargled, and he spat it out. Then he gave it to Abu Musa al-Ash'ari radiyallahu anhu and said, the two of you, Abu Musa and Bilal, drink of this water and pour it on your heads and on your bosoms. For this is my bushra. So Abu Musa al-Ash'ari radiyallahu anhuma and Abu Bilal radiyallahu anhuma both began drinking. Mu'mineen, Salama radiyallahu anha had heard this entire conversation. She parted the curtain and from behind the curtain said, do not forget your mother, leave some for your mother.